Hello everyone, welcome again on Stack channel. So in the last video, we are able to store the token in the Flutter app. And this is the token, right? So this is the token which we stored, okay? And in this video, we have to work on the GET API, as I told. So this is a Stack channel and we are developing a full stack related series, shopping app series. So please don't forget to subscribe the channel, like the video and share the video. It will highly motivate me to make more videos. So let's go and let's see that after decoding this token what we will get. Okay, so I'm just closing it out, and this is JWT.io website, and instead of the given token, if we put our token, then let's see what we are getting. So actually we are getting the mobile number which we shared at the time of the registering. So based on this mobile number, I mean, if we decode this token, then we will get back the mobile number, right? So what is the need of this mobile number? If you remember, at the time of sending user related data, we send the mobile number, alternate mobile number, gender, full name and all those details. Let's go on the code and let me show you the user model. So you can find that these many parameters we are sending from the front end, and if you find in the schema, it is unique. The mobile number should be unique. So think about a SQL database or SQL table, and this mobile number will going to be a primary key of that table. Okay, so whenever we need to make a SQL query from that table, then we have to provide some kind of key. Okay, based on that key we can fetch the data. Similarly, in a NoSQL, this will going to be our primary key, the mobile number. So based on the mobile number, we will going to fetch the data from the user collection. Okay, so the user collection where we store all the user related data. So to fetch any one of the data, we need a mobile number only. So that is important for us, okay, to get the mobile number first, and based on the mobile number only, we will going to fetch the data from the collection. Now the second thing is we will going to implement the token based authentication. Okay, if you don't know about the token based authentication, you will find a video link on the description. Go and watch that video, then you will get a clear idea that how the token based authentication happen and why it is so important. So in a brief, what will happen in a token based authentication, front end will going to send the token. So in case after registering a user, we are storing this token in a Flutter app, and now at the time of getting any kind of data from the backend, okay, we need to send this token from the front end to the backend. Now backend job will going to be get this token, okay, and decode this token and get back the mobile number or relevant data from the token, and use that token to validate a user. Okay, so first backend will going to validate a user, that user is a true user or not. After validating a user only, it will going to send the data to the front end again. So that is a token based authentication. Okay, so as part of our implementation in this video, what we need to do, that we have to suppose that front end will going to send us the token, and our job will going to be write a logic to decode this token and get back the mobile number, and with help of this mobile number get the user data. Okay, get the user data from the user collection and send it back to the front end again. Okay, that will be our job. And to complete this job, we need to create a middleware. So what is the middleware? So in the middleware code, we are going to write a logic to decode a token. Okay, so in the middleware code, we will going to put a logic that will decode the token. As of now, what we have is we are not using any kind of middleware in our API endpoint, but in future, so in case right now we are going to send the user related data to the front end, right? But in future, maybe we are going to send a data related to the cart or data related to the orders. At that time also, we will need to decode the token. So let's create a generalized logic and use it as a middleware. Okay, and I will explain you that how it will work. So first let me create a new file that will going to be a middleware.js, and this middleware.js will take care the JSON decodation part. Okay, so first let's import the JWT package which we have in our package.json file. So it will be require, okay, JWT token, and this is the package. First let me import it, and now the second thing will going to be, okay, let's come to that part later. The second thing will going to be for us right now, it will be a check token method. So it will be a method, okay, and how it will work I will explain you, but think that it have the request, all the thing like in the login route if you go, we have the request and response parameter, right? Similarly we will have a request and response and the next keyword. And what is the next keyword? Let's discuss it after implementing this thing. Okay, first let me write the logic, then we will go that we will explain it in a detail. Okay, now the next thing will going to be a get the token from the request parameter. Okay, so in a request, the request we are going to get, okay, at the time of sending a request, as you saw, we are sending the headers also. Okay, so if you remember in a Postman, right now the Postman is not installed in this Windows, but let me show you the front-end code where we have the header part. So first thing we have to go on a network handler, and yeah, here you can see that at the time of post we also sending the headers, and right now we only sending the header of the content type. So similarly at the time of making a get call or something, we're going to send a header, and that header will going to have a authorization as a key. Okay, as of now it is a content type, but at that time sending a token we have to put a key authorization. That will be a second parameter of this header. Okay, we have the first parameter will going to be the same, and the second parameter will going to be authorization, something like that, authorization. Okay, and the token string which we wanted to send. Okay, so okay, don't save it. So similarly, so we are going to send the header, right? To get access of the headers we have to use the headers, request.headers, and what we wanted to access, we wanted to access the authorization. Okay, authorization key which we shared from the front end. I think I'm making mistake, authorization. Okay, so now we got the token access. Okay, and now the next thing will going to be the token. Okay, so generally at the time of the sending the token, what we do, we send a token like this. So suppose we have a token here, right? So this is a token, and when we send this token from the front end to the back end, so at that time we generally append the bearer. So this is a bearer token, that's why we append this bearer in a front end side. So it should be like bearer space in the token value, so like that. So we need to get the exact token, right? So I'm going to slice the token which we access that have the bearer plus space plus the token. So I wanted to slice it out. Okay, so I wanted to slice it out 7 and token dot length. So why I use this 7? Okay, so I have to append this bearer 3 plus 3 6, it have a 6 character plus 1 space 7 character. So I'm slicing it down, okay, till the 7 character. So after the 7 character, the value we have, I wanted to get it. Okay, so after the 7 character to the total length of the token, that value, I mean that string will going to store on this token variable. Okay, so now we got the exact token which we wanted to share from the front end. That is I mean adding a bearer is kind of a good thing because it's a kind of a standard. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now let's check if the token have the value or not. So here I have added the if condition. Okay, if token will have the value, then only we will going to perform the decode and all this stuff. If we don't have a token value, I mean if we don't have anything inside our token, then why we will do the logic performance? Okay, so if we have a token, then first we will going to verify the token. So the JWT we imported that have the verify method, and here what you have to do, you have to pass the token, and you also have to pass the key which you use. Okay, so at the time of the login or registering, what we are doing, so this is our key as I told, right? So this is the key, and this key we have to use it over here also. So generally what we can do, that we can create a config file for it. So if I will create a config.js, and if I will use module.export, and here I can make a key. Suppose it will be a key, and let's put the same key we have, otherwise. So I'm putting this key in a config file. So that is a best practice we have to use. So let me put it in. Okay, so this is a config file, and we can directly use it in both the places like this, config dot key. Okay, it imported the .NET. We don't need that. We need to import the config from our own config file, config.key. So basically it is imported the config file from our local file which we created just now. Okay, so now we can use the config.key which we put over here, and similarly we can use the config.key, okay, over here also. So now the source of information of the key is coming from the one place, so it has a single root. Okay, so the JWT.verify will take the token which we extracted, and the config.key file, I mean key value, which we are using at the time of generating the token. Based on that, it will going to validate the token, it is valid or not. Okay, now the next thing will going to be callback method. Okay, so generally if we get any kind of error, then this callback method will have the error, and the second thing is the decoded. Okay, so the third parameter of the JWT.verify method is callback method. So generally it will happen after verifying the token, and it is taking two things. It have the error at the time of the validation. If the token is not valid or something, then it will going to throw an error. If the token is valid, then we will get the decoded value. So decoded value will going to be this one. Okay, so now we have to handle the error also. If we got the error, which means token is invalid, then at that time let's send a response.json file to the front end. Okay, and let's say a front end that status is false. Okay, which means validation is false, and we can send a token, I mean we can send a message that invalid token or something. Okay, so this thing we are doing if we got any error. What if we are not getting any error? At that time we will going to attach this decoded into the request object which we are getting. So the request object we are getting from the front end, I'm going to attach that message over here. Okay, so now this request object also going to have the decoded key with the decoded object we got after verifying the user, verifying the token. Okay, so it is like if in a request state, if we had some body, you already know that body and params. So now we also going to have a decoded key, and in the decoded key what we will going to have the value which we just decoded. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay, so it is just example. So request now have the access of the decoded value we just got from the JWT.verify, and now here come an exciting part, that is a next keyword. Okay, so what does that mean in a next keyword? Generally we are going to use this middleware.js file like this. So let me create a new endpoint for you to explain it in more detail. We will not going to do the API testing as of now, but yeah, I can explain you. So router.route, or we can create a separate route for it, a new file, user details.js file, and here we can user details dot route .js file, and we need to do the same thing like we need to import the express, we need to import the routers, and here let's use the router.route, and we need to provide the endpoint name. The endpoint will going to be /user details. Generally at the time of creating the endpoint we put like this, and it will going to be the gate. Okay, and here we now have a request and response. Okay, like the same thing we did on a post, a callback method. Okay, but before executing this callback method, we are going to put a middleware function. Okay, so the middleware we just created. Okay, first we need to export it. Okay, so first let me export it and you will get the idea. So let me export it, module.export. Okay, I'm going to export it as a check token equal to the check token method we just created. Okay, and we need to put that middleware here. So the middleware file we just created, you can see that. Okay, I'm going to import it. I'm going to run the check token first. So that is the duty of the middleware, that whenever we will hit this endpoint, the user detail endpoint, then it will first run this middleware.checkToken method. And that's why if I will go on a middleware.js file, in a check token method we are getting the request and response access, and along with we have the next method. So that next method, what it will do, that after running the verification and all, automatically it will run this part. So if everything will work fine, then the next will resume the callback method. Okay, otherwise if the verification is failed, then we are directly returning the value from here, so the callback method will not going to be run. Okay, to run the callback method, that's why we are using the next, and it will automatically handle the running the JavaScript code to this part. Okay, so that is the duty of the next keyword. So we have handled the error. So we handled the error of this part, right? So what if if the token is not valid, then also we have to send, I mean, if we don't have a token, then also we have to send the some detail to the user, right? So if the token is not present, then we can send invalid token or token not provided something. Okay, token not provided, that will be a valid, not provided. So this is our okay, just let me go there, everything is right or not. So we are using config.key. okay, so this is our middleware.js file, which will going to take care of logic of the decoding the token. Okay, now let's go to the part where we need to fetch the data from the user collection. Now this request have the access of the decoded key. Okay, so in the decoded key we have the mobile number, right? And now we have to use it. Let's do it in a next video. Okay, this video is pretty much long. Let's do it in a next video.